Welcome back. Free Talk Radio. Frank Mr. Tim May now going live with the sheriff. Our sheriff speaking from...
Is it McAllen, Sheriff?
McAllen, Texas. Yeah, Tim, how you doing?
We're doing well. How are you, Sheriff?
Well, I tell you what, Tim, the more I see, the more I understand the magnitude of the problem down here. I've spent the day, we as a group have spent the day on the Rio Grande on the river in a armed patrol boat, and then all afternoon in the air, fixed wing, and then also helicopters. And, you know, as we speak, as we're up in the air, we're watching the illegal people are crossing illegally, getting taken into custody by Border Patrol. And I tell you, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Is there anything that you have seen that you can make recommendations for, or what do they say? What does law enforcement say? Because law enforcement has a better handle than the politicians do. What is law enforcement?
Well, the law enforcement down here is, I tell you what I'm seeing is I'm concerned they can't sustain this operation for an indefinite period of time. I mean, these guys are working, they brought assets in from all over the state, air assets, river patrol, you know, border patrol, Texas Highway Patrol, public safety, and you know, you can't sustain that forever. The problem is you need more. You need National Guard down here. There's a lot to this. There's a lot more than I can say in a couple of minutes. But honestly, this is, you know, what we see at home on 1 hour or 2 hours of Fox News doesn't do the problem justice.
Well, we do have a few minutes. I mean, please tell us, you know, being down there, Sheriff, what are you seeing that's new that you didn't realize before you went down?
Well, again, just such a large area to cover. Just for an example, right here in McAllen, Texas, right in this sector, 75 miles of river they have to cover with basically 4 patrol boats, a couple of helicopters, a limited number of manpower. They've got Border Patrol vehicles on the ground. They've got 4-wheelers on these trails. And from the air, Frank, you can actually see the trails from the Mexico side of the border coming into the river. You see the rafts hidden in the tree lines. And as soon as it starts to get a little bit dusk out there, they're going to come across. We actually saw some crossing this afternoon from the air, and then we also saw some taken into custody. So it's such a huge area. That's the problem.
Is there any deterrent for them not to come across the river? Is there any deterrent for them not to come in?
You know what the deterrent is for Washington to change its policy.
Okay, but in what way?
There has to be a policy change in that they cannot stay here. They should not be detained here. These people should be processed and sent back expeditiously.
What about?
And if you do that, I think it would slow it down. And there's a larger story because you know, the reasons they're coming up from Central America are there are quite a few reasons. One is the violence, the poverty. They're looking for a living, for a better way of life. I get all that, but you know, again, we can't sustain the numbers here either. So I think the best thing we could do is try to turn them around quicker, get them back to their countries of origin. And I think the quicker we would do that, the quicker it would deter things.
It would send
because right now, the concept is, the mindset is, if we get here, if we get to America, we're here.
And that's pretty much true.
It is. So until we really enforce the law, we don't need reform. We need strong enforcement. We need to change our policy in regard to children. You know, right now there's a policy, I think it's called DACA, Deferred Action for Children. Whatever it is, I can't think right now. But anyway, we need to change that. We need to go back to these children should be processed and returned back, you know, to their homes with their parents, if possible. It's overwhelming. The numbers are just overwhelming.
Sheriff, in your information gathering, who are you getting to talk to? Because I mean, those up here just, you know, hear that. Well, it's a rather, you know, hard political group that's involved in inviting the sheriffs.
We're talking to Department of Public Safety people. We're talking to Border Patrol officials, field directors. We're talking to Texas Highway Patrol people. We're not talking to any politicians or elected officials down here. We're not doing that. We're talking to people that have the boots on the ground and operationally.
Are you seeing any politicians? Are there politicians there?
I'm not seeing any elected officials here. No, everything's operational.
Do you feel you're being restricted in what you're able to see at all?
Not at all. I think we're able to see everything that we can see. We have seen. You know, it's a quick run through. We're only down here through the night, so After today, that's it. But right now, we're going up to a couple ranches up on about an hour inland from the border, and we're going to actually see some of the areas where ranches are being crossed by people who have made it across the river, gotten inland, and now to avoid the checkpoints, they're going through these ranches, and that's where a lot of the damage is being done to property and things like that. So,
do you see any aid groups or churches down there, or Red Cross, or are they setting up these types of situations that can handle these individuals?
There's some church organizations down here. Specifically, we know there's Catholic charities and Catholic church organizations that are helping. They're providing housing, food, shelter, things like that. So there's a lot of that going on. Everything we've seen so far, we've been unrestricted. I mean, we were actually today on a river patrol boat, an armed gunboat, very similar to what you see in the Vietnam era films, heavily armed machine guns, and, we're out there wearing body armor and right along with them. So we've been pretty much unrestricted.
And you're only seeing one small portion of this problem, right? Because you're in McAllen, Texas. Give us an idea where that is, so people that would know where you are. Give us so far from this place or that place. Give us an idea where you're located.
Well, McAllen, Texas is right down on the south central border, right on the Rio Grande. The city itself is about, I think, 10 or 12 miles right off of the Rio, so we're right there. But again, remember, this is only a small portion of the border. This goes from the Gulf of Mexico to all the way out to California, so you're talking, I think it's like 1,800 miles.
What's the story on that McAllen, Texas, where you are? What is their crime situation? Are they seeing an increase in anything, such as crime or hostilities of any kind?
No, not really. The only thing they're seeing, they're feeling the impact locally of the cartel people trying to get the drugs through the county. Other than that, they haven't really seen a spike in crime. Again, there's two pieces of this. One are the bad guys trying to come through with the drugs. The other piece of it is the families, the women and children who are trying to come across and turn themselves in. So, but the problem is, the more they're diverting their resources to taking care of the women and children, the more bad guys are coming in the back door. Once they get off of the border inland, then it's a matter of getting lost,
Sure.
On the interstates and on the roadways and getting into the country. So,
do you see any of the Mexican officials along the border? Any Mexican patrols whatsoever?
No, but what we do see, what was really actually pretty interesting was the network of scouts and people conducting surveillance to watch where the riverboats are and watch where the border patrols are. And this river is so windy, it's unbelievable. You can go past a section of the, I got to go, Tim, but you can drive past a section of the river and be around the bend, and in the minute you turn your back, they're across behind you. So
be safe, Sheriff. Be
safe.
Okay,
I got to roll.
Hurry home. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.